Studies show that women that embrace their full feminine energy, both their light and dark energy, experience higher self-esteem, deeper intuition, as well as stronger emotional resilience. Now, unfortunately, nowadays, most women are only taught to lean into and embrace their feminine or light feminine energy, such as being softer, being nurturing, and taking care of their external, all while ignoring that dark feminine energy, that energy that makes them magnetic. It makes them confident. It makes them powerful and unstoppable. Now, throughout history, it has been shown that powerful feminine figures have embodied what we now call dark feminine energy. And these women were often feared, they were revered, and they were misunderstood because they represented autonomy, wisdom, and the ability to navigate both creation as well as destruction. One of these such ancient goddesses was called Oshun, and Oshun was of deep wisdom about justice and the ability to take you out if you disrespected her. Another one was the high priestess. She was another ancient goddess, and she represented deep intuition, secrecy, as well as spiritual wisdom. And she embodied the forces of the unseen feminine. Now, in ancient times, these energies were actually honored. But in today's society, women, especially Black women, have been conditioned to step away from these powerful energies because society fears their power. Society doesn't want them to own their desires or to own their intuition. But what if I told you by unlocking this part of yourself, it could actually transform not only the way that you see yourself, but how the world responds to you? That by tapping into your dark feminine energy, that you could command any space, trust yourself fully, and set boundaries without guilt and move through life with effortless magnetism. And that's why in today's video, I'm breaking down what dark feminine energy really is, why so many women are disconnected from it, and most importantly, how you can awaken it and step into your most powerful, authentic self. Now, before we go any further, I want to briefly explain what dark feminine energy actually is. So I took some notes. Dark feminine energy is a powerful, magnetic, mysterious force within femininity that embodies depth. It embodies intuition, sensuality, confidence, and transformation. Now, unlike the light feminine, which is often associated with being nurturing, being softer, showcasing your external radiance, dark feminine energy is about embracing one's shadows, your inner power, and your unapologetic self-expression. And dark feminine energy is not about negative or destruction like some people paint the picture as, but rather it's about integrating your light along with your dark energy, which allows you to step into your most powerful self. It allows Black women in particular to redeem their depth, break free from the societal expectations, and to move in their relationships, in their careers, and in their personal lives with a sense of self-mastery and, of course, confidence. So now that we've discussed dark feminine energy, let's talk about how to tap into it. One of the first ways to tap into your dark feminine energy is to embrace your shadow work and your emotional depth. Now, dark feminine energy thrives in truth. And it thrives in truth even when you are uncomfortable. It doesn't matter that you're uncomfortable. So instead of suppressing your emotions, you face them head on. And some things that you can do to tap into your dark feminine energy is to literally journal what your fears, your desires, and even your past wounds are. Another thing that you can do is practice self-reflection to discover what your triggers are. And then finally, working on your self-forgiveness as well as understanding your emotional release. The second thing that you can do is to cultivate a magnetic confidence and presence. Now, dark feminine energy is deeply alluring. Not because it seeks validation, but because it moves with certainty. And so some of the ways that you can tap into moving with confidence is to walk with poise, right? To walk with poise and own your presence when you enter the room, instead of walking in with like your head down and you don't want to make eye contact. Straighten up your back. Walk with poise, walk with certainty when you enter the room, knowing that all eyes or most eyes will be on you and you're okay with that. You want to be able to speak with intention. What does that mean? It means slowing down your speech so the people that need to hear what you have to say can understand what you're saying and you're not rushing to speak. You want to speak with clarity. So slow things down. Another thing that you can do to lean into your confidence is to wear what makes you feel confident about yourself. Wear what makes you feel empowered and powerful. And if you are actually struggling with confidence, I actually created a PDF guide specifically for professional Black women. It is called How Professional Black Women Can Date with Confidence. I highly recommend that you check the pinned comment or the description box below, because it's going to give you a link there where you can click on it and purchase your copy of How Professional Women Can Date with Confidence. You don't have to struggle. It's out there. The third way to tap into your dark feminine energy is to step into your intuition. Now, your intuition helps you to trust your choices with life, your choices with your career, as well as your choices in your love life and dating life. So own and step into your intuition. Now, here are some of the ways that you can own your intuition. One of the first things that I like to share with my clients is to sit in silence, whether you are meditating and or listening to your own inner voice, so you can just understand the things that are coming up for you and lean into them when you need to. Another thing that you can do is pay attention to your gut feeling. What is your gut feeling telling you about this particular person? What is your gut feeling telling you about should you go out on this date? Like really honing in and really listening to what your body is telling you about being in the presence of this particular person. And are there any reoccurring signs happening? And finally, about your intuition is to stop doubting yourself. Like really lean into what your choices are. Your first choice is usually the best choice for you. So stop doubting yourself and lean into whatever that first choice was. And so specifically when it comes to dating, if your first choice, if something in your gut is telling you that something is off, maybe, just maybe, you shouldn't go out on this date with this particular person. Right? So paying attention to what the signs are putting out there for you is only going to help serve you. The fourth way to tap into your dark feminine energy is to set boundaries without guilt. Listen, dark feminine energy is sovereign. And so what that means is that you do not feel like you have to overextend yourself or shrink to fit into spaces that drain you. And so a few ways to set boundaries without feeling guilty is to say no. Say no without over-explaining. No is a complete sentence. You do not have to overshare, over-explain why you're saying no. No means no. Another way to set boundaries without feeling guilty is to move away from people and relationships that no longer serve you. And then finally, prioritize your peace without apologizing for it. The fifth way to tap into your dark feminine energy is to own your sensuality as well as your feminine power. Sensuality is all about being in tune with what your body is saying, not just for the attraction piece, but for your self-pleasure and your own self-love. A few ways to tap into your sensuality starts with you just becoming free and flow. And one of the ways that me and my clients do this is by dancing. Free dancing, just being in flow. It could be through stretching, right? It also could be through intentional touch. So intentionally touching, right? To embody your sensuality. Another way to tap into your sensuality is to indulge in scents, right? Scents that make you feel something, textures, touching things, and experiences that make you feel good about you. Number 6, which is the final way to tap into your dark feminine energy, is to allow for transformation and rebirth to happen. Dark feminine energy is not stagnant. It welcomes death. It welcomes rebirth. It also welcomes releasing things, whether it's old identities, whether it's toxic people, toxic habits, or even outdated beliefs. And here are a few ways to do this. One of the first things to do is to not be afraid of shedding what no longer serves you. The things that no longer align with you, go ahead and remove them from you. This is how you tap into the rebirth or the transformation that you seek. Another thing is trust. Trust in the fact that this ending creates space for you to tap into and allow your highest self to emerge. And then the third thing to do is to embrace solitude when it is needed. By doing this, you understand that this solitude is when your deepest transformations are going to occur. So at this point, we've already discussed what dark feminine energy is and how to tap into it. And so now let's talk about the third part, which is how to tap into and own this while you are dating. The first thing that this does for you during dating is that you will start to attract versus chase. Dark feminine energy is magnetic. It does not chase. It actually draws attention naturally. And when you do this, you allow the man to actually take the lead while you remain in your power. And yes, it could be your feminine power at this time because you recognize that you don't need to be in your dark feminine energy at this particular time. You can just let him take the lead. You can show up as the high value woman that you actually are instead of feeling like you need to over explain. This will also help you to understand when a man is truly into you versus you feeling like you have to chase him. And we don't want to do that. And so that was one of the things that I talked about in the previous video within this series. So if you haven't checked out the series, then I will link that up above. Another thing that dark feminine energy and how it helps you while you're dating is because you command respect from the start. It's not that you're being mean, ugly, or, having to demand it or say it. It's just, it shows up. And the way that you present yourself, the things that you are allowing, the things that you are accepting. Dark feminine energy does not tolerate nonsense. So you know that you can set boundaries early. You know that if you notice red flags, then you're like, no. And then you also will be able to maintain your standards. In your dating, when you own dark feminine energy, you will also be able to radiate mystery as well as confidence. And confidence keep coming up in here because you want to showcase that you are confident and not feeling like you are needy during this time. And so men are naturally drawn to mysterious women. They want to know more about you. They want to lean into you. They're asking more questions. And so it's not a game that you have to play. It's just this is a part of that chasing that is innate in men to chase their woman. The fourth thing that it does for you while you're dating is that you set a tone for how you want to be treated because dark feminine energy is intentional. It does not wait for a man to define the relationship. It guides the energy in a way that aligns with your desires. You show up as the prize, not the option. You move with elegance and self-respect. And you require consistency before investment. And finally, this helps you to maintain your feminine energy while still holding your own power. And when Black women tap into this, they experience more pursuit and effort from quality men, less tolerance for time wasters and the bare minimum that they're willing to put in, as well as more ease and enjoyment while they are out there on the dating scene because they know their worth. So my question to you is, do you know your worth? And have you been willing to tap into your dark feminine energy? And where has it gotten you? Please let me know down in the comment section below because I love to read them. Again, I am Marshawn Olanio, and this is the end of this series. Again, if you are just finding this series for the very first time, the link is up above for you to click on the button to watch all of the videos in here to help you to become a better dater. I love you guys and there's nothing that you can do about it. And I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye now.